Hello and welcome back to the fourth episode of Kerbal Space Exploration. So in the last episode we sent this probe transport to the moon, and today we are deploying the drones and sending 4 of them down to the moon's surface and 2 in orbit around the moon. Now I made one change from the last movie, and that's when I was going to test out the landing drones, I found a bug with the support I used on the bottom to keep them light. It made the whole thing dance and just do crazy Kerbal physics, flying infinite speed out into space. So I'll probably just upload a short movie showing you what that was like, but I sent a new one with just switched out support with this fuel tank, so that's the only difference. And I also fixed the action groups with the engines, but I didn't want to make a completely new movie for just sitting around in a couple of hours trying to find out why this probe was dancing around. So first things first, let's get these drones down on the ground. So I'm not sure how much fuel these drones have, if they have enough to land on the moon. So the first drone we're going to help a little bit with the transport vessel, with the drone transporter, and that was the retrograde mark. We are going to lower the periaps down to down for the landing, so that the probe doesn't need to do the whole. We can save some fuel with that. And we're just bringing these periaps down to about 10,000, and I'm landing here close to the canyon. That will be a nice scenic view for the first landing. And let's take this top one and send it away, and let's spin this carefully around so we don't hit the drone. Carefully, very carefully. I don't want to break anything. Let's just switch this, toggle on the engines, and just short burst away. There we go. Now I can calm down. And because I just want to make this go really fast, we just do this and get this circularized again around 100, and hopefully we can jump to the probe. That'll be good enough. There we go. So back on the probe, let's deploy the solar panels so we have enough electricity, and let's warp over to our periaps. So hopefully this will leave us enough fuel to land this probe, and out from this landing we can see how difficult it will be to land. And we have to do a very careful landing because I didn't put any landing gears on this, as I talked about. So we have to be very gentle landing on the engines so they don't break. So let's start the retrograde burn. Oh wait, SAS is no point of using here. And let's just kill all that velocity, vertical velocity. So camera switching around, and there it looks like we actually killed all that velocity very quickly. So yes, we actually started going backwards, and we used maybe too much fuel. We used a lot of fuel on that. That was probably a bit stupid, but okay, well, let's try anyway. So wasting a lot of fuel, sending us backwards again, but on the other hand it's sending us right into the canyon, hopefully somewhere flat. So let's bring this down. Let's take in the solar panels just in case I mess it up and fall over. And just bringing this very carefully down. And this will be a very light craft, and I think we have a lot of power, so we can wait until we get very low. I just don't want to crash this first probe. Oh, killing velocity. Killing the velocity, come on. Well, I don't need to use that much thrust to kill velocity with this, so apparently it's more than powerful enough. And there we have the shadow, perfect. Shadow helps a lot to see how much is left to the ground. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, perfect. So 2.45 liquid fuel left. That's close enough for my comfort. It would be sad to lose the first probe we sent down on the moon to give us data on is it safe to land on the moon. So let's get back up into space and let's send down the next probe. So this time I want to put 2 on the light side, and then I want to wait and put 2 on the dark side. So this one probably should be somewhere around here, I guess, to give it equal. Yeah, on the end of this crater. That looks about 45 degrees off. So let's warp around to the other side. And then we just use the smart SAS again to do retrograde burning. And just bring it down. And we can land on the edge of this crater. When NASA went to the moon the first times, they tried to find flat spaces, the flattest spaces to land, because that was the easiest. And also they wanted to have some rocks and craters, small craters, that they could use the shadows to see how far off the ground they were, and I don't know, that kind of stuff. So let's release the next docking clamp. Oh, not docking clamp, the next probe. And this time we just send it off at once. Then we just, because I want to save some time, we do a circularization with this before our probe flies away. And we still have so much fuel in this. I probably think we could almost fly it back to Earth or Kerbal and crash it into Kerbal's atmosphere. But we're not going to do that because there's a nuclear engine on it, and we don't want to send nuclear waste all around Kerbal. That would be sad, or bad for the Kerbals. They don't need that. So we're going to crash it into the moon, I think, after a while. But we will use it as long as we can safely have enough fuel to crash it later anyway. Or I want to use it as long as I can, but I still want to keep enough fuel to crash it, so I don't have all this debris. That was what I was going to say. So finding the retrograde marker, and I don't want to land in the crater. Too much shadow, and it'd be nice looking out over the crater. So let's take it here to the periaps, and then this time we're going to be a little bit more gentle, just 1/3 of the throttle. And we can see that this has so much thrust that it's insane. This would take forever in a normal spacecraft, but I guess this doesn't weigh anything. So that looks good. We want to land close to the edge here. I think that would be a nice spot out from the map view. Who knows? And let's see if we can find our... No, the transport vessel has flown on. So let's warp down And hopefully we can land this too without any crashing. So taking in the solar panels to be on the safe side, and I have no clue how high this is, so let's kill it down to 100, and I'm now just using minimal thrust, but see the delta change, the velocity change. Jesus, these 4 engines are very powerful, or they're not very powerful, but this thing is very light. And I want to see how much fuel I have left. I don't want to muck about like I did on the last one and forget to watch the fuel. And there's our shadow, perfect. To just getting this all the way down. Come on, come on. Carefully, carefully. Oh, I should have had landing gears on this. This would make this job a lot easier. But I didn't like the look of them because they were so big compared to my probe. Whew, that worked. Thank God. Let's deploy this too. So, yeah, this looks good. Now we have our first 2 probes down on the moon, and they can collect plenty of data for our colonization. Or first we will have to send some Kerbals to the moon to do some inspection, but hopefully we can start colonizing the moon in later, I guess, years for the Kerbals. So let's time warp this, and yes, our next landing spot should be directly on the opposite side. So let's warp. Oh, come on, stop warping too much. There we go. And oh, I forgot to change to the transport vessel. Let's change the name of it. Moon Drones Transport. There we go. And this time I think I'll retract the solar panels because this is so close. I don't want to lose my solar power panels. That would be kind of bad to have no electricity on our probe anymore. And let's go back, and oh, I forgot to do my whole deburn. Well, we'll now find out if the probe has enough fuel to do all operations itself. Damn it. And because I don't have a docking port on this, since I'm just using the decouple function on the... Oh, that was the wrong one. Damn it. This is all mistakes on this one. Well, we can just deploy these now because we can't retract. They won't retract anymore. So, but anyway, we will go for it. We will prevail. And it looks like the engines are so powerful that it doesn't really matter. So that's the probe. So that should be directly on the other side. Perfect. Let's see how much fuel we wasted on that. Oh, not too much. Compared to what we have left in the others after they landed, this might just work. Hopefully. I'm still hoping. I really hope we don't crash this into the ground. Oh, that would be so bad. We're just having 3 drones. I'll have to send another one because I've decided I want 4 drones, and then once I first made up my mind, that's how it's going to be. So let's see. I want this to be very... It doesn't have to be exactly on the opposite side, but it looks like a very nice spot to land anyway. It's just on the edge of this canyon, so probably we'll get a good view overlooking that canyon. I hope. I haven't been looking at this spot before, so be interesting to see how it looks. So bringing it down all the way. Oh, saving some fuel, I think. So let's take a look. So, well, I don't think we'll see that much of it anyway. Maybe. It's going to be quite... Well, we're going to land somewhere over here. Yeah. Anyway, let's get down to the ground. And we're not allowed to time warp anymore, so I guess that means we are getting pretty close to the ground. Let's cancel out that last delta V. Bring it down to 100 meters per second, just to be on the safe side. So 6 fuel left. Ooh. Scary, scary. Oh, quite taking it down to 50. Don't want to make this go too fast. If I was very good on this, I could probably land it on the first attempt without hovering as much as I've done with the others. But I don't think I can. Let's see. Oh, no. No, I can't. I'm just human anyway. Oh, no, I forgot to retract the solar panels. No. Damn it. We crashed. Let's see if we can raise this back up. So, luckily the antennas doesn't seem to be affected by hitting the ground, but unfortunately we lost one solar panel. But we still have 3 remaining, so it was good we took the extra solar panels to be on the safe side. So yeah, crashed but did not burn, and it's still operational. Perfect. So let's get back to our transporter and land the last one before we can send out the I have to not forget the solar panels. I don't want to lose this too. I'm getting a little sloppy now. Focus. So next one, focus. Yes, after that we would send the communication satellites in polar orbits. So there, retrograde, the last probe remaining. This actually has been quite efficient system, I think. It has worked quite nicely. It's been pretty easy to use. I will upload the craft file into the description. So if you want to follow along the missions, I will try as much as I can to upload the craft files so one can try them out and see if you can do a better attempt than I. It shouldn't be that difficult to do, especially not after that last landing. So decoupling the last lander probe, engaging engines and sending it away. And let's just hurry up and circularize this. And we have so much fuel in this thing. Oh my god, I think we might not need to use we might not need to use the electric engines that much in the probes, because we can just do it with this transport. But never mind, let's try to do this the right way again. So the 2 first ones went pretty good, and I guess the last one we can say it worked, but that wasn't completely successful. So let's hope we can get back on that good streak we had in the start and land this. And I'm definitely remembering to put in the solar panels this time. So if I flip over again, I won't lose anything, strangely enough. So I guess in later time or in later updates they probably will make the antennas and communitron fall off if they also hit the ground, but for now we will use that bug to our best advantage. So finding our landing spot next to this crater, I guess, would be a pretty good. Oh, let's kill some more velocity. That looks like a nice place. And remembering the solar panels. So we're getting a nice view of the moon surface flying over. And if somebody has noticed, I don't have the rocks and scatter around the moon, and until I get my new screen recorder I won't, because of some reason when I use my screen recorder now and I approach the moon surface I get this horrible lag, but it works just fine when I'm playing normal. So hopefully with the new screen recorder device, I hope I'll get that in a week or two, I guess a week, I will turn that back on again. And of course I have the one processor that KSP has said that they have some crash issues with, the AMD Phantom or whatever it's called. So yeah, lucky me. But stop talking and remember to land. Yes, don't forget the landing procedures now. So where should the shadow come from this time? That way. So come on, shadow, there it is. So the ground is coming up fast. Hope this will work now. Come on, nice and easy. So getting some practice on this now. Whoopsie daisy. So yeah. Oh no. Okay, I take my statement back that I'm getting some practice on this. I am just messing up. Keep missing the keys now. And land. Yay! Whew. Oh, we have plenty of fuel left. I could have messed around in half an hour more, maybe. Well, not that much. But there we go. Our 4 Lunar drones are on the ground collecting data for our next mission to the moon. That will be sending the Kerbals, and by using these we will find out the best spot. So let's go back to our communication or transport to release our transportation drones. That was the wrong solar panels. There we go. And retract those. And let's see, how much fuel do we have? So to get this in a polar orbit, how much delta V do we need? Let's see. Whoa. Okay, so getting the polar orbits with the maneuver drones nodes can be tricky sometimes, but we will prevail. So 600, bring it even more down. Oh, come on, stop being so difficult. Let's see. Up and down, up. Just doing this carefully now. And up a little bit more. And killing some more velocity. So why do we get an escape? Ah, there we go. So yeah, they switch around when you keep changing them. That's right. So how much fuel do I have left? I don't think that's correct. I think that's for the probes. Yeah, that's probably the probes. So how much do we have in this? If I do... Will that give me some more information? No, definitely not. It does not. So should I think we'll release one of these and it will do the whole thing on its own, and the other one will use the transport to get its polar orbit. I just want to change this a little bit. Let's see. Oh, very sensitive. So bringing it down. Whoa, that's not bringing it down. That's bringing it up. There we go. So let's find that maneuver marker and start preparing for our burn. Now, so we don't lose this, I will deploy the solar panels and face it towards the sun. Oh, come on, stop it. It's very annoying when the nav ball is not correct with the maneuvers, so I'll use the chase camera now, I think. Yes. There we go. Oh man. Oh, forgot about that. Yes, we lose them maneuver nodes when we go out. So let's start all over again. But this time we know how this works. Yes, there we go. So, approaching the maneuver node right there, locking it on. And I think there's probably somewhere on the MacLeod that could do this for us, but where's the fun in that? We have to do some of the job ourselves. So I'm just going to watch that fuel, which is not decreasing that much at all, really. And I'm getting a little side pulled by this drone because it's on the side, but of course we would expect that. It's not completely, it's a little off center right now, you could say, having a half a ton drone on the side. So 150 meters per second left. Good. Let's see, troll a little down just to do the maneuvering. There we go. And cut. 20 meters per second. Bringing it down. 15. 10. How are we doing on fuel? We could have done this with both the rockets, but I guess, or both the probes, but I guess you would have to do a lot of course changes on the top to make them have different orbits. So this is just easier, and I get an opportunity to play some music, I guess. So let's do circularizing orbits, just to make it nice and easy, nice and dandy. So we'll get rid of this. Let's deploy our last probe. So solar panels out with the communotron, and I'm seeing that the transporter is circling, so just get away. Yes, very nice. Spinning out of control perfectly, just like we want it, eh? So that looks very polar to me. Yes, it does. So I don't know how we should face this. Yeah, it should face the sun, giving us a lot of electricity. Should face the back end towards the sun, so we get the communication dish for when we're transporting lots of data from the moon. Oh, come on, stop it. There. So apparently there is a little SAS on this, more in this name of just stopping and fly around. So yeah, let's crash something. Let's see how much fuel there actually is left on this thing. Let's see what we can do with that fuel. So, oh wait, retrograde. Let's see how steep this will be. I think we actually have so much fuel that we can get this straight down in a drop. It will drop like a rock. So yeah, looks like we can kill velocity all the way down to 0. Just keeping this hovering above the... Let's do that. Let's try to get it hovering above the surface. Let's see. Just waiting till we slowed all the way down. And then let's keep surface speed 0. Let's see what happens. How do you do? Oh yeah, we're still well, we don't want that. Keep orbit 0. We want to keep the orbit at 0. Yeah, it doesn't look like it likes that. We still have so much fuel. What else can we do? We could land this thing, but I don't want to land it. I want to crash it. So let's do a prograde. And let's wait until that goes straight down. Let's make sure this thing is not anything near flyable after this. Why can I not engage the engines? There is plenty of power. Oh, it's a stupid bug again. So let's see if I quickly change to you, and let's change it back again. Whoa, look at this. This is beautiful. Look at all those probes flying around. That's nice, very nice. So no, I'm not allowed to use my engines anymore. Why am I not allowed to use my engines anymore? Panic. Let's see what that does. Well, he's allowed to use the engine. Why am I not allowed to use the engines? There we go. So probably some bug or something, I guess. But full speed ahead. Let's dump some radioactive waste on the moon. Do we have anything else that we can deploy? No. So let's make this the radioactive hotspot on the moon. Oh, upwipes is definitely increasing, but I don't think we'll make it. Yeah, don't think so. Okay, let's get rid of all this. Get a nice view off the crash. And bang! Wait. Why did I hit the ground? I wanted to see the crash. No! Well, at least it is completely destroyed, I think we can say. So, yeah. Our radioactive hotspot. So, should I have this in a polar orbit too? Because this one will now communicate with this and this. The two probes under its course, and this one would be able to communicate with all four, but then we would have a period where we're not able to communicate with Kerbal. I think we'll do it. We'll do it. So let's go end flight. What flight am I on now? Yes, I'm still on this flight. Yes, end flight. Tracking station. So let's put some names on these. So this should be, let's call this the survey moon survey survey lander Mark 1. Well, not Mark 1, number 1. And then let's take this, will be number 2. Ooh, has it wasted? Oh no, wait. Ah, that's tank left. There's only the bottom tank left. And there's not enough electricity, so I can't rename it, of course. Let's put it into the sunlight. There, now you should have enough power. Let me rename you. Okay, so why am I... Oh, time up. What did I call the other one again? Survey Lander 2. So now we have Lander Survey 1 and Moon Survey Lander 2. And if I'm smart and if it's possible, I will just do this. Perfect. Next. Rename this to the same. And maybe I should change the... No, I'll keep them as probes because they are probes and I don't want to mess them up with the other ones later on. So, number 3. And finally the last one. Have enough power still on you to be able to rename. So apparently there's not enough power to go a whole month for these probes, but that'll be just fine. Oh wait, 5 is V, and yeah, correct me if I'm wrong on this one. It's a long time since I had Roman numbers in use. I'll have to check that. Let's see, Roman numbers. So 5 is V, and yes, I remembered correctly, I think. Yes, I did. Good. And this is the one without a solar panel. Well, missing one at least. Not target, go to. So this is not a lander. This is not the lander, so this will be called Orbiter 1. And let's take and change the name of the last one. Oh, we have to deploy. No, yeah, we have to deploy the communications with you still. Orbiter. There we go. Now we have named every single one. Perfect. So I will put this into a polar orbit by itself, but that will take some time doing, so I'll come back to you, and yeah, see you in a couple of minutes. So finally we got the probe into a polar orbit around the moon, and it took about 27 minutes to do it, and I even had to have some lunch in the meanwhile, but we finally did it, and we have our probes collecting data on the moon, and hopefully the next time we have enough data to go on to land our first shuttle or spacecraft on the moon. So hope to see you next time. Please like and subscribe. Wearing Storm signing off.